Welcome, everybody, to the Onward VR Master League. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's. I am joined with my co-caster, Todd freaking Habercorn. How are you today, Todd?
Man, watch your language. How's it going?
I know. We're really pushing the limits of what we're allowing on our family-friendly casting here. It's good, though. I'm excited. Are you excited for this cast today?
Oh, yeah. Tonight we have G-Men versus Mayhem. One of those awesome matchups that we just cannot wait to bring you tonight.
Yeah, it should be pretty exciting. I'm curious to see just how good G-Men are going to perform. Mayhem, a diamond tier squad, looking really good this season. And I'm not quite sure what to expect.
Well, G-Men are a master team for the Master League. So we're probably going to see some really good rounds coming out of them. Possibly a win. The scores are leaning in their favor, but if Mayhem can pull this off, that will rock our world.
Yeah, it'll, yeah, it is a Master versus Diamond matchup. G-Men, that Master ranked team, so they are the higher slotted team, one of the top 5 ranked teams in the league right now. So definitely a squad to watch out for. And although we don't have a lobby up or anything quite yet, we can take a look at the active rosters for both squads. Over on G-Men, we have Biggie Smalls, 404, Dr. Leo Marvin, Swooty the Man, Miracle Dev, Brass to Mouth, and Zach Fontaine. And over on Mayhem, we have Defilade, James Bauk, Potato Bot, Technic, Capitano, and Let Wookie Win. Now, G-Men have kind of had a shift in style lately. They've been with the new addition of Brass to Mouth, well, relatively new addition of Brass to Mouth, and then recently Miracle Dev. They've been kind of getting a little bit more aggressive, a little bit less on the back foot, where we historically see them play slow. So I am curious to see if they're going to be playing fast against Mayhem, who I really haven't watched much of, but Trip's been casting a lot of. We caught them early in the season winning against Fury, and I mean, they've only lost... I mean, they've
Anglers, I think.
No, SMC and Globo. So they've lost to, like, the top teams in the league, but they've faced them, so they know what to expect out of these really competitive teams. So they're not. So G-Men, I don't think they're going to be surprised by G-Men playing aggressive or playing forward or anything like that.
Matter of fact, them playing Globocam and SMC, I believe, are probably good warm-up for this.
Yeah, we are still waiting on a lobby to hop into. We'll try and hash out that for you here so we can dive into this first round, because we're not quite sure what that first map is going to be. We do have picked bands. Let's just give us a few seconds here while we try and hash out exactly when these squads can be ready.
We are seeing the love in chat here from 2 Old, Pathfinder, 404, and I can't read that because Twitch has the great idea of putting a white name on a white background. Keep sending the love to us, guys. We really appreciate y'all, lighting up our chat on our streams. Little bitties, the itty bitties.
It looks like we do have a lobby now, properly hosted. I think we are having some technical host issues there, but I think we're finally getting ready to hop into this, and I think we can get into our pick bands. Todd, do you want to break those down for us?
Oh yeah, you ready, sir? Are you ready for these bands to be dropped?
I think so.
Alrighty, from Mayhem, we have a band of Tanker, and it is no surprise because Mayhem have only won 29% of their rounds on Tanker, probably one of their lowest scoring rounds. G-Men, on the other hand, Well, they have decided to ban Bazaar, and it's not their weakest map by any means whatsoever. It's probably actually one of their decent ones. Not going to say the greatest, but they probably just did it just to throw away a ban, just to say that, hey, we don't feel like playing this.
Yeah, it's odd because when we were talking about stats, it is one that they have really good numbers on. So curious to see them take it out of the pool here, but I just think it's probably it's got to be something where they're just not feeling Bazaar right now. Maybe in their practices or in their scrims they weren't winning, or you know, there's a lot that's going on between weeks really where these teams are playing heavily. So either way, we are going to see a cargo for our first map. So the close quarters stuff is still going to be coming out for map number 1.
Oh yeah, I think this is a very common first map, just so teams can really feel each other up, get a sense of how they're gonna play, what they're gonna do, if they're gonna pull anything funky on each other. You know, cargo is a really good first indicator of how a match is going to go, in my opinion, my experience.
Yeah, we'll see if we're going to have that kind of aggressive, hard pushing out of any Marsoc offense, or if we'll see reserved play where they're kind of poking and prodding each other a little bit more. I anticipate G-Men to be a little bit aggressive, at least at the start of this first map on cargo.
And typically when we see these kind of lopsided MMR matchups, we do see the team with the higher MMR being a lot more aggressive because the stats show that they have more of that skill to kind of follow up with that. So they can afford to, at least in their minds. But who knows? I'm ready to see an upset, you know? Yeah. I'm always down to see that.
Yeah, this is a big matchup for Mayhem. They have a chance here to really gain some nice MMR. I wonder how much, I mean, where they would be pushed up to. I wonder if they would get pushed into a master tier after winning, if they could win this against G-Men, because this is a 50 MMR difference between the two of them, and it's a regular scheduled match, no challenge, and so it's definitely an opportunity for them to come out and, I mean, play pretty dang strong here. They've had a decent amount of footage on them, so G-Men do have, you know, the advantage of being able to suss out what Mayhem's strategies are, how they play on what maps, and maybe that is why they banned Bazaar, because I don't know, maybe they've seen Mayhem play and don't feel comfortable with their strats.
I don't know if
has Mayhem.
I don't think if well, to answer your first question, I don't think if Mayhem even wins this one, I don't think that'll bump them up to. Yeah, they're currently resting at 1230 MMR, whereas the highest ranking Diamond team, SMC Tactical, is resting at 1260.
Okay.
So, and G-Men are the lower bounds of the Masters, which is 1270.
Yeah, that's a pretty big gap. It's gonna take a couple of wins.
They do have a chance to put themselves up there with SMC Tactical, I would say, unless they completely wipe, in which case I won't even know anymore. I probably wouldn't know anything about this game. I don't think I'd be able to commentate it if it was Mayhem wiping G-Men, but
I mean,
like I said, I'm not going to predict just yet.
They put up a pretty dang good scoreline against Globochem. 4-3 on Quarantine, winning a map, that final map 2-4.
They have some very skilled players who just know they know where to pre-fire. I think that's, in my experience playing them, they know where these gaps are that you can shoot through, and they know exactly when people will show up. And they do their homework beforehand. They research their teams. They're good little boys, you know.
You got to do your research. You got to study and analyze, and I think we do have all 5 for both teams now in the lobby. Coming in for G-Men, we have the Man Swooty, Zach Fontaine, Miracle Deb, and Leo Marvin. And over on Mayhem, we have Technic, Wookie, Win, Potato Bot, Defilade, and Pause.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe Pause is a reservist. And I do believe he has actually played for... No, he played for Gunning on Empty before. I'm getting my cast confused. Okay. Ignore me.
Okay. Yeah, there was, I think that's a bit of a reason why the lobby was also a little bit delayed, because Mayhem's searching for that 5th, and they're fortunate to find it with Pause, but it is going to put them at a bit of a disadvantage. Definitely an opportunity for G-Men to come in here and maybe utilize the coordination of a 5-man team to kind of break apart the now broken up roster of Mayhem.
Yeah, Mayhem's probably biggest downfall is that they're only a 6-man roster, so if they have more than 2 people call out, no call, no show, they kind of get screwed over. And, you know, we all have lives outside of this. I don't think any of us make a career out of this, so, you know, that can very well happen.
One day, maybe.
One day. I think we'll be the first ones to make a career out of this. I hope.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Either way, we're not going to have to wait around for the start of the first map on Cargo as we dive into round 1, map 1. G-Men on the offense, Mayhem on the defense. We are into Cargo, and we got a shield out here.
Alright, let's do this.
G-Men sounding enthusiastic off the start.
A lot of stretching, getting loose, getting the limbs loose, getting ready for
It's
about
always important to stretch, otherwise you can be at risk of injuring yourself. And we all know how OSHA loves that.
Oh yeah. A little free fire from the LMG on the opposite side as Zach and the man make their way up the tunnel. Swootie's gonna make it across pretty nice and easy. But the rest of Mayhem is holding those tight lines. It's going to be hard to penetrate. Maybe some good nades are going to be in order here to really deal with positions like Defilade and Pause, because otherwise landing those shots between the cracks of the crate door is real hard.
Yeah, the crate door is probably one of the most powerful spots you can possibly hold in all of this map, just because the angles are just against you if you're not up against that door. And a nice... Oh, it's too far. I'm sorry. It went under the door.
It was looking good. If it had gotten maybe another bounce and bounced into the crate, it would have caught Deflate out perfectly, but...
Deflate gate strikes again.
You can see there Swootie trying to pump rounds into that gate crack just to deny it as Miracle Dev pushes up, shots over to Technic's position. Pause and Deflate both kind of getting exposed as they rotate around here in the center.
Miracle's about to get a little exposed here. He picks up Pause.
Really nice shots there. Good trade from him. As soon as Pause came out, Deflate rotates back around to cover Pause position. He wants to take up that angle, make sure he has eyes on objective as Miracle Dev is here in the center. And Technic is kind of distracted. He's got smokes completely covering his position. He's totally smoked out. He doesn't have an eye on objective.
He tossed out a flash. Exchange of fire and a trade between Wookiee and a Miracle Dev comes out. Leo Marvin makes the move onto objective. He is tablet out, but chooses not to go with it. Comes around, chooses to go, is backed up by Swootie. Definitely doesn't see Leo, and Leo.
What just happened? Deflate was looking at him there. I think he was struggling to get his hand on the rifle to shoot, or he was out of ammo, and he couldn't get the shots off. He saw the code getting punched in. Either way, G-Men kick it off with a cap and go up 2-0.
Very decisive cap. Like, he was in plain sight. I'm actually gonna go look over where Defilade was and see if you can see that. I think you can see the tablet out there.
He saw him there, and I saw him fumbling around with his weapon. I don't know what was going on there.
Maybe he ran out of ammo.
That was my thought. I think he went to shoot and had a click happen there. The rifle didn't go off, and then he tried to reload it, but he couldn't get it in time.
Oh,
yeah,
that's painful. That is so painful. Especially that click is the worst sound in the world. That is the click of death, and that click just cost him 2 points. Always make sure you're watching objective with the loaded gun.
Yeah. Yeah, he had just been shooting at, I think, Miracle Dev in the center there. So he may have been out of bullets with that clip and forgot to reload.
And the person who capped, and forgive me, I forget their name, he actually went back into that container thinking he could get the frag. But then he actually decided, nah, I think I'm just going to go cap it.
Yeah, he kind of second guessed what he was gonna do there. Once you kind of make that cross, you're there. You have to commit to that cap or not. And they're fortunate that he had time and that there was that fumble with the weapon. I'm curious to see what the replay looks like on that one because you can see it in the distance, him kind of trying to shoot the gun but not shooting. So I just want to know what happened there.
Yeah, I couldn't see this. You weren't in first person, were you?
No, it was just in the distance.
Okay.
I saw them looking
That
right
would
at
have
him.
been the first person view of that would have been the first person view of the century right there. Some tracer rounds going on across map here, trying to find members of Mayhem. Not finding anything.
Yeah, deflated safely across the man in his pretty standard forward position at this point. I've seen him get up here in cargo pretty regularly, so I do expect Mayhem to probably be ready for that as a nade comes in. A pretty good toss. Doesn't quite go far enough, and Potato is safe on the other side of the crate. It's deflated inches his way.
Paz is moving pretty close to objective, actually. He's moved up further than any of Mayhem. Mayhem Prime, for that matter. He is Mayhem for the day. Paz sneaks the route.
Oh, tries to push in. Leo Marvin catches him out. Technic goes down to Miracle Dev. And the push from Mayhem gets somewhat denied. Still 3 left alive to the 3 of G-Men. As the man finds Potato Bot trying to rotate to Defilade's back. And now Defilade a bit concerned about getting flanked.
And his teammate is not really in visual range of him. It doesn't really help him out too much. And I don't really know if G-Men really know where the rest of these guys are. They might have an idea now. They definitely do now. The man tags Wookie. And it's up to Defilade to see if he can even up the score with a cap or at least get them 1 point. It's not looking like it's in his favor. It's currently a 3v1. Defilade versus the man.
A little cross right there he just did is so risky. He's lucky the man wasn't watching. Now if he goes to redo it,
oh. This is the... You should buy a lottery ticket, man. He gets so lucky.
I think the man's just holding that.
His position right there.
I think the man's just holding that tighter angle, waiting to hear footsteps out of Defilade before he sort of commits to peeking anything. But I don't know if he'll hear Defilade this far away. If Defilade now kind of goes quiet, I don't know, maybe there's some gaps he can sneak through here, unless a Miracle Dev gets eyes on. I do see a little bit of a lane for Defilade.
Looks like he's primed some kind of a nade. I think it's actually a frag this time, but he's just trying to make sure that those barrels are clear. Spooks Marvin in the process, but nothing really comes out of it. Not even the man's really moving, per se. He's just kind of peeking out.
That was a really nice nade, too. Right where you need it to be.
If there was someone there, that would have been perfect. He fires 2 spots and decides to go for the flank. He does have 2.5 minutes here, so he has time, especially on this map where you can get across map in like 15 seconds. So he's going to attempt the cross again, but this time his luck will run out as the man tags him and brings G-Man up to a 3-0.
Can only cross that so many times before getting picked off by the man who was holding that angle for quite a while, and finally does go down. G-Men now up 3-0 against Mayhem to start off this map 1 on Cargo. This is G-Men's map pick, if I'm not mistaken, so not surprised. No, it is. It's
G-Men is home, so
yeah,
this is the home thing.
Yeah.
There has been a drop on Mayhem's side, so we might be here for a little bit, but we'll keep you entertained. Don't worry about that.
You don't know, because G-Men started on Marsoc. because they got the cap. Started at 2-0, so
Well, yeah, because
they must have. Oh yeah, because they took the map.
chose the
Yeah,
map.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Man, good
So
start.
we
for them,
lost. Definitely potato bot. Oh, I'm trying to figure out who dropped. And trying to remember his name. I have an idea.
though. Was it
Technic.
James? Oh yeah, you're right.
We haven't seen James or Capitano yet, and quite honestly, I don't think we will be seeing James. It's a little late for him.
Yeah. True.
He is the team's resident Aussie, I think.
What the flag says.
Yeah, that's what the flag says. So I'm going to assume it's correct. He could just be a Brit in disguise. I don't know.
Yeah, this is rough for Mayhem. They are obviously not working with their full roster right now, and you know it's unfortunate when you try and schedule something like this and make sure you have your team ready for the time, and then your team can't show up or you're missing too many players because you have to rely on that reservist pool. And although it is good, it's not good enough to compete up against a master tier team, to say the least.
Oh yeah, no. Paz is an excellent reservist. He has such a knowledge of the game, and if this was I would say a gold or below game, Paz would probably be game changing.
Yeah.
But anywhere above that, it doesn't matter how good the person is. You gotta have that team. You gotta have that team mentality if you want to be competitive, and that's just not gonna happen after meeting someone an hour beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, Sleepy was saying yesterday that the teams now in this season in particular are a lot better at playing fast and playing slow. They've diversified their play styles, and I think that's made teams a lot more dangerous. As Swooty with the pre-fire down this lane catches Defilade trying to cross, and it's a perfect pre-fire there. One does get across there. Technic looks like as he commits and slips through, but Swooty did ID that, so they know. Zach Fontaine sees another cross, and they have pretty good eye on where Mayhem are right now.
And a nice nade almost got Technic, but it's a little too late. That pre-fire is crippled Mayhem's defense. They have not been able. They've only been able to get one or two people across that lane.
Ooh.
And a great nade coming out of Potato Bot, downing a Miracle Div, but he will get the res.
And that nade getting thrown out of there did ID his location to Leo Marvin, so Leo's trained in on that doorway.
Oh, and the double barrier rule comes into play. Where 2 barriers equals bulletproof. Leo Marvin finding Potato Bot.
Pause though, finds one, can't find Leo as he pushes around the corner. Swooty goes up against Wookie Win, and he trades. And Wookie does win. He lets Wookie win as he goes up now against 3 more G-men.
Wookie's position isn't the greatest for this objective. Matter of fact, he gets forced further away as smokes begin to come on.
Yeah, they don't need the cap, though. Leo Marvin with the picks from the backside gets G-Men a very fast map number 1 in dominant fashion, 4-0, and this is looking like a rough series ahead for Mayhem. They're going to have to turn it on, to say the least, for these next couple maps.
Yeah, and this next map is going to be so crucial. It's the only map that they get to choose their strength, you know? They have the disadvantage of being on the away side, even though they already are the disadvantage of having lower MMR. So the cards have not necessarily been dealt in Mayhem's hands today, even though they have been fairly close rounds at times.
It looks like we are going to be going into quarantine, considering the available maps. We had the Bazaar ban, the Tanker ban, and Cargo obviously being played there. So what's left is really just a bunch of open long-range maps and Suburbia. So they go with Quarantine, a bit of a mid-range, long-range, and close-range map, kind of an all-in-one. We'll see how they do up against G-Men, who I think are pretty good. What are the stats for them on Quarantine?
Ooh, give me 1 minute.
Dive into the numbers and report back. So I'm curious to know what they are, because I think they're pretty good. I don't think G-Men really do too shabby on this map. So
I think this is one of their decent maps as well. It's like up there with Bizarre, if I'm not mistaken. But I will have an answer for you in just 10 seconds here.
Do the research. We'll set the map 2 to quarantine. And it doesn't look like we're getting any subs. Pause is going to maintain his position there on Mayhem's roster for at least the start of quarantine. And I wonder if they are you know, they maybe have one that is going to show up eventually for that final map or not. But you're right, Pause is a solid addition from the reservist pool, so he should be able to do some work for Mayhem.
Definitely so. I have that number for you, and it's actually kind of surprising. It's actually a really good pick on Mayhem's part. It is only a 50% round win with 50%, you know, game wins. So this is probably Mayhem's chance to really pull it off, especially since their stats are a little bit more leaning toward them. They have a 54% round win and a 62% game win. So
interesting.
The numbers are looking in favor of Mayhem here. I think we're going to see much tighter plays coming out of this map, at least.
Yeah, I would like to see that, and we're going to see exactly what Mayhem has in store as we dive into round 1 of map 2. Mayhem on the offense and getting a quick spawn to kick things off against G-Men on the defense.
Let's take this corner. I'm gonna take twins. Yeah, you take twins.
And this is a pretty interesting defense area. The objective itself is pretty easy to defend, but the question is finding the spots. It's very open. They did try to put trees here at one point, but those got recalled.
Ooh, and early shots coming in from Deathlade and Wookiee Wind don't land, and that does notify G-Men of this quick spawn, so you see rotations happening and shots coming in to try and deny, I think, Pause making his way up through the center. Ooh, Deathlade finds the toes of Miracle Dev under the tanker, almost gets shot himself from Plane Wing, manages to tuck himself in.
It's so important to know which places keep you open-toed, you know? Always wear closed-toed sandals, and I think the person who knows that is Miracle Dev right about now.
It's a really good start for Mayhem, getting that early pick, and now these rotations going along relatively smoothly. Pause over in the center, and they've sent one all the way onto the east side. He's going to try and wrap around. If he can move all the way east, come up around that sand dune, he'll be right on the backside of a couple of G-Men who I doubt will be expecting it. They don't have coverage over there.
We are seeing some pretty slow plays coming out of Mayhem here, being really thorough, looking for every single spot that they possibly can, because they know G-Men know every spot as well.
I think they're waiting for Technic to get in position before they start to move. There is a smoke out, though. Technic's about to be up on the backside of a couple of G-Men, and this is going to be bad news for them.
Oh yeah, these dunes are such an area, but Swooty does find Pause, so G-Men have tied it up. It's a 4v4.
Tech finds one, Zach finds another, shots going off as they try and make their way up. The man picks off another, and Potato Bot can't find the refrag as the man rotates around the other side of the building. G-Men holding on to this round, even though it's looking bad as Technic picks off another on the backside, making it 2v2 now. They have no coverage on objective, really.
Just as you say that, Swooty does make the run back. The man finds Potato Bot as well on that piece of broken fuselage right by the garage, and he begins to make his run back to objective as well.
Technic had he had an opportunity to catch him there on the rotation, missed those shots. It would have been a huge pick because it would have turned it into a 1v1 with Technic with a sniper with 2:45 on the clock to work with to just kind of harass and poke his way up there. So now he's still in that 1v2. It's going to be a little bit harder for him to make his way up this south side since I think they know he's here now on this hilltop.
Yeah, so he's got to come with a different approach now. Swooty is in a very vulnerable spot if he chooses to go alongside this wall. But it seems to be Technic chooses not to anyways. I think he's going to try to go for a direct approach onto objective. Swooty doesn't seem like he has complete visual on objective where he's at.
I wonder if Technic's quiet enough. I think Swooty can peek up over the.
He is peeking right now, and Technic doesn't see him.
Wow. Good use of the height there as Swooty stands on his tippy toes, takes the shots up over the wall, and secures the round for G-Men. But Mayhem looking much better this round, much more coordinated with a plan of attack as they almost do secure their first Marsoc round. Yeah,
that ballerina's advantage does come into play here because height does matter. This is VR. The genes you're born with come into play here. And no, I'm not talking about Levi's.
Oh, I do have the wrong map on the scoreboard for map 1. It was Cargo.
So far, this is looking a lot better for Mayhem compared to the last map where they completely got capped in front of spectators from Mayhem practically. A total power move. But now we're seeing them bring it down to practically 1v1s. All hope is not lost for Mayhem just yet.
They did take all the time between rounds to sort of hash out a strategy to how they're going to defend against G-Men as we go into round number 2 of map 2. Mayhem working with that 1 sub pause from the reservist pool. So they're not quite firing on all cylinders, but they almost did take a round against G-Men, who are looking pretty dang good right now. They did win Cargo 4-0.
There is no quick spawn on this one. G-Men spawning from what is formerly known, or still lovingly known, I should say, as Crater Spawn, even though there is no crater anymore. Erosion has taken place, and nature has swallowed the meteorite impact.
It's still there on the map.
Well, the map lies.
Yeah, it is going to be a little bit here before G-Men make their approach, and I think this may be a little bit of G-Men not necessarily slow playing it, but definitely taking their time here. They are capable of playing it quick and fast, as we did see on Cargo, but I think with this spawn, they're going to opt to take their time, rotate into position all the way around onto the west side, and whoever's over on the east is just going to be kind of chilling there waiting for the team to get into position before they pounce.
And G-Men kind of have this, if you look at the map, like this kind of like box of control where they kind of emanate from that corner. So they're looking to control space, not trying to be aggressive right now.
You look at the positions of Mayhem too, it is going to be a little bit before they run into anybody. Deflade, the farthest over there on the west. PotatoBot does have angles to watch any crosses that happen, but he's not going to spot anything from that center burning building. It's really going to come down to pause spotting something or let Wookie win, who did manage to cross the street and is in a spot where he could catch out an unsuspecting G-Men on a rotation.
Oh yeah, Wookie's position is so phenomenal. It's pretty far out there, so it's generally not heard of. Could work in his favor for any kind of odd man rush. Right now, what G-Men are doing, and it's actually a fairly good tactic for this objective, is they're just looking for the picks. They're looking to take down individual people. And as I say that, Potato Bot does find Swooty, so this is not going for G-Men's favor. They are trying to find those individual picks to see if they can chisel away at the spread of the defense, because this is a very spread out objective.
Miracle Dev tries to land shots here on a Potato Bot in the 2-story, but can't find the head. And he knows he's still alive there in Burning, so it is information for G-Men to work off of, but it has sort of stopped their west rotation a little bit. A man tossing out a smoke to assist, or at least maybe, or I was going to say Leo, but nobody's crossing that street, so to just distract them.
If I'm not mistaken, Wookiee might be finding company with Zach Fontaine soon here as well.
.15 on the clock. Wookiee aware of that as he checks his pad. Pause, holding his position in objective. He is vulnerable to a nade toss towards objective, but G-Men are not very close. They're going to have to deal with Defilade and Potato Bot, who are still threats to them in the center here, holding up this G-Men push from the west. Or, excuse me, from the north. They still haven't made it from the west. They're still up in the north side of the map. They have a long ways to go with a minute 50 on the clock.
Oh, and Pause and Zach Fontaine about to square off here. But Zach just has the quicker shot and opens up objective to him, actually. I don't think there's anyone directly on it. The rotation does come out of Technic, but doesn't matter anymore. Zach Fontaine goes down to Potato Bot, allowing for Technic to take up his position on objective. G-Men down a man, 3-4. They've got to do something here. They only have 1 minute and 18 seconds left on the clock, and on a map like this, that's not much time.
No, it is not. Miracle Dev has to cross a lot of mayhem if he wants to make his way up towards objective. He's looking for the head of Potato Bot in the corner, but I don't know if he can find it. Leo Marvin, realizing he is running out of time, starts to rotate. Potato Bot peeks and catches Miracle Dev prone in the corner. A nice pickoff for him as Mayhem are looking to answer back. The man picks one off in the backside. That goes Potato Bot. I thought that would be Defilade, who is over there as well, still alive, holding on. And Leo Marvin now trying to storm forward. He will have the center open, but they have coverage on objective.
Yeah, with 38 seconds remaining, they have no time. It's crash, dash, or be last.
I don't know, though. If they do get the kills on objective, Defilade's in a bad spot right now. Leo Marvin pushes in, catches Technic. Now it's all up to Wookiee.
But Wookiee's not looking for the rotation.
He doesn't. Oh, he does. Oh my gosh, he catches Leo and then... No, he catches the man and then Leo abandoning the cap and Mayhem, just barely holding on to that round as they tie it up 1-1.
Clutch double.
Jeez.
What a good play. Just in the nick of time. They did let the Wookiee win there.
Yeah, they really did. Yeah. Fortunately enough, had that height to peek up over the ledge. I wonder if he was prone, if you still would have seen him. You know, if there was some sort of different angle he could have taken to get up there and punch in that code, but either way, a good attempt from G-Men, nearly getting themselves a cap and a nice 3-0 lead, but instead, Mayhem hold on, and we're now tied up for the second map 1-1. And that's what they needed. They needed to get on the board, prove that they can get some rounds against G-Men, and if they can keep this up and take this map, we'll see what happens for map number 3.
They've been able to get good scores against Global Chem. I'm pretty sure we're going to see some good scores against these guys, at least. At least. Unless their playstyle is completely are like, I don't even know the word. Unless their playstyles don't mesh, but it's really just G-Man's favor then. That's what I'm trying to convey. But we're English hard.
And I mean, if there was any utility there, too, he's really if they had a smoke grenade right there, that would have been a cap. But so late in the round, 20 seconds left, to have any utility left would be unheard of.
I don't think Wookiee had even time to toss a nade out or cook one.
Yeah. Diving into round number 3 of map 2, we have the tank courtyard objective. A bit of a tough one to defend against a coordinated push, so we'll see what Mayhem offer up here as they go on the offense.
A bunch of G-Men are choosing to actually go far out, so if they can keep them alive and kill the ones on objective, they could potentially secure themselves a cap and get themselves up a round.
Ooh, Miracle Dev tries to trade blows with Defilade. Defilade winning in that exchange, gets them up one. Swooty pushing in hard and heavy into the center, blinds Wookiee on the corner, doesn't blind Potato on the second story as he denies him entry. And the aggression from G-Men biting them a little bit here as they're now into a 3v5.
Yeah, 3v5 is not the situation you want to be in, especially with only one person really defending objective. The other two kind of far out. There's actually technically 2 people defending objective, but not really the kind of numbers you want. Let's see. Pause finds the man. It is now a 2v5. Mayhem have found their groove here just by hanging out and waiting for the push.
I think G-Men, you know, they had dominated in that first map 4-0. Maybe felt like not getting that cap was a fluke, so they were kind of trying to get here and get aggressive on the Mayhem, but I agree with you. I think Mayhem might be finding their stride now, as they are looking pretty good, denying the over-aggression from G-Men. Leo Marvin in a pretty tough spot if he wants to move out. He is exposed to the plane wing, fortunate enough not to get spotted, though.
Well, I think what Mayhem are doing is that they're waiting near spawn, waiting in good spots to hunker down in, waiting for the aggression to come out of G-Men and punish them as they do that aggression. And there are 4 people on Dr. Leo Marvin here, as the other member of G-Men actually abandons objective to help his friend out. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He's moving on to objective. Zach Fontaine finds Defilade. Potobot makes the run around the other side. Wookiee finds Zach and runs into the smoke. Leo does not know. Wookiee is tablet out. He is capping.
Wow, he doesn't see him punching in the code there in the smoke. Leo still doesn't spot him in the smoke, denying him vision. Mayhem catching G-Men with their pants down, put up a lead 3-1.
Like I said, it's just Mayhem predicted that G-Men would make this massive push, devoting so much of their resources into an early fight. They waited, they hunkered down, they found good spots, they capitalized on those spots, took down at least, pretty much 3 of them in the first minute, I believe, right? And then they just moved on to objective as one unit and just punished. So well done. It was really well done.
We are into a exciting series here. Mayhem coming up on map point. They are looking at an opportunity to take this to map number 3 and almost tie up the score line here against G-Men, a team that's 50 MMR ahead of them. So if they can do this, it will be a huge boost to them in their climb to get into that top 5.
This is... Oh, go ahead. No, this is G-Men's time to tie it up here with a cap if they can. They have demonstrated that they are capping friendly pretty much in every Marsoc round. We've seen them at least go tablet out on objective at least once, I think. So, I wouldn't be surprised if G-Men try to make the cap again. I'm putting my money on it, actually.
Similar defensive setup, similar offensive setup. Same spawn for G-Men, and they do miss the early shots. I believe it was onto Deflate as he peeked the corner. Now Zach's looking for any action.
Mayhem have not pushed up nearly as far as G-Men, and I think they both understand each other at this point that pushing is a really bad idea on this objective, especially with that how well fortified that burning building is, with the walls in the front and being able to hide in the staircase, all the different features that that one block offers.
Little pre-fire from Zach up into the 2-story. Obviously not finding anybody there. Everyone from Mayhem is staying pretty tucked in. You got Technic, Deflate on the backside, Potato Bot and Wookie Win in relatively forward positions. If they do get flanked around the north, it's going to be bad news, but they have Paz there who is defending that possibility. So he is waiting to see if anybody is going to come try around here and flank, and he is going to find Swooty up on the hill.
Really good pick. Shutting down that flank on this objective is so crucial. It basically allows the team to focus their train their sights on the burning building, which is probably where the push is going to come out of here.
Not sure what Leo's doing way back here. Potato Bot finds the man, and Mayhem are looking like they're going to take map number 2 4-1 as they go up 5v3. More shots from Potato, just confirming that kill. And
ooh, Technic might start peeking here. He might be able to pick up Zach Fontaine if he does, but I don't think he is. He looked like he was going to make it.
yeah, G-Men have slowed this up. They know where Zach Fontaine is. You could hear the comms coming in that they know there's one at Burning Rubble. But are they aware of Leo and Miracle Dev? It's going to be up to them. This is the right move for them to come up north. If they can kill Pause and then continue a hard flank, they can end up being on the backside of a lot of exposed Mayhem defense because of the way that Mayhem is defending inside that turbine, behind that cement bunker. They are exposed to the flank, and Zach just has to hang on him here as a lot of eyes are trained in on him in the rubble.
Miracle Devs begin to make a push up to the top. He spots Pause.
Oof.
Potato Bot finds Zach Fontaine. But the real battle is happening up north here. Miracle Dev does find Pause, opening up that north side.
Yeah, you do see Potato Bot shifting his line of sight over to the north, since he is aware that that's going to be where they're exposed. They do have the rooftop available to peek on, so they could potentially see Potato Bot here. But it's a risky peek to be kind of looking for Potato and exposing themselves. So I do anticipate Miracle Dev to drop back probably all the way north.
Oh, you know, he just goes down to salvage stuff.
Yeah.
And a nade coming out, and it's actually ooh, a little too much hot sauce there. Well timed, though.
Minute 38 on the clock. Leo Marvin and Miracle Dev into a 2v4 to try and save this map, to prevent it from going to a final map number 3 for the series decider. I wonder if Miracle Dev has time for this kind of long rotation along the north side.
Smokes have come out, and they might last for the rest of the map here. I don't think so, actually. We got a minute left.
Yeah.
But they're definitely not covering objective. They do have eyes, like, pretty much all around the capping areas of objective as of right now, so those Smokes are just meant to say, hey, we're still here.
See Mayhem trained on the north side, aware of the potential flank from Miracle Dev as another nade comes out. A couple in A frag, a smoke, and nice shots from Potato Bot catching out Miracle. Now it's all up to Leo Marvin as he does get out Defilade. Now up to a 1v3. Can he come back? 35 seconds left. He has to crash objective.
He absolutely has to. He either has to go for the cap or kill 3 people, all within the course of 27 seconds as of right now. You can hear the calls coming out from Potato Bot. Stay alive. Time is on their side. 16 seconds remaining here. Marvin coming around this plane wing side, gets caught up by Wookie. He finds Wookie. We're now down into a 2v1 here.
Ooh. Can't catch out Potato as he picks him off. He would have had to then go up against Technic, but he had exposed angles there. Unfortunately, can't land the shots. And Mayhem, with a really nice comeback, take Quarantine 4-1 against G-Men. I don't think G-Men were ready for that at all.
No, I don't think they were. That's pretty definitive.
Yeah.
That's almost as definitive as the previous map. So we're seeing a lot of back and forth here with everyone's map picks, especially on the maps that everyone likes. But keep in mind, this is now G-Man's pick. What are they going to pick, and will this be a Punisher? I'm actually about to queue up the stats right here. I'm pretty psyched.
It could be Downfall. I wouldn't be surprised to see G-Men pick into that longer range sort of map. I would be surprised if we saw Suburbia. As a reminder, the bans that are out Tanker and the Bazaar, so those have been taken off of the out of the pool of maps. Cargo already played 4-0 to G-Men. Quarantine just got done 4-1 to Mayhem. So we still have Suburbia and Downfall available.
I would say Downfall would probably be their best bet because they have a 60% round win. However, their one map that they seem to be better on, but they don't play as much, is Subway, actually. And we have been seeing a lot of Subway.
Yeah, that is still an option.
We have been seeing a lot of Subway. We might see that, and that would be so cool to see top tier teams bashing it out on Subway.
For the series.
For the series as well, yeah. Subway's a fun map for that kind of action. Mayhem's also displaying good stats, but keep in mind this is over one game, and they have an 80%, so obviously one win. So they seem to be pretty good. I need to figure out who they played against for that, but numbers-wise, Mayhem, both teams are looking pretty good on Subway. Wouldn't be surprised if they actually choose that, but like you said before, Downfall is also a good map pick for G-Men. They are very strong on it. It's not their strongest. It'd probably be their second strongest next to Subway, so I wouldn't be surprised either.
Yeah, I think we're going to be going down.
It looks like that they brought in 404 this time.
Okay.
And I think they swapped out. I'm trying to figure out who they swapped out. And they go for Downfall.
Yeah.
This is gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, we're going into Downfall 2.
Hey, Downfall Day is the only one listed in the matches.
The sequel.
Yeah, I think they had a hard time just getting it to show up in the map, the random map selection, but
Well, it's not random map selection anymore. Whenever you're in a comp lobby, it shows all the maps. Yeah.
taking their time deciding the map maybe, but yeah, Downfall 2. Gonna get real dark and spooky. I don't know when the last time I've watched this in a league match is. I'm sure it's been played, but I don't think I've even seen it.
There aren't even stats for either of these teams with Downfall Night. This is the first time in recorded history that either of these
Okay.
teams have played Downfall Night. This is going to be very interesting. We all know and love Downfall Day and all the different spots it has, but a lot of spots kind of get negated because you're in a very dark environment, but all the buildings which we so know and love to hide in are lit up.
Yeah, and people may think that the laser is a smart idea here, like laser with pistol and shield, but everyone's running night vision, so they'll be able to see that laser coming out from the pistol from pretty much wherever it is coming from. So
tracer rounds just light up the ground like the sun, and yeah, it really changes a lot of the meta when we choose a night map. Oh, and I'm sorry, they rehosted.
Oh, okay, so it probably was Downfall Day then.
Yeah. Sorry for the hype.
Yeah. False alarm, everybody. You can blame them for debating us, truly, because they did join the lobby and get ready up.
Yeah. Maybe that was just a prank or something. I don't know. Something elaborate.
Well, they pranked us, and we ended up pranking the stream. We're going to be going to Downfall Day. Keep things regular. I don't think... Is Downfall Night even in... is that even in the map pool, actually, now that I think about it?
I believe it is. There are stats for Downfall Night.
Really?
So.
Man, I have...
The only map I think that has been actively voted out, this is from my experience as a team captain in the sit room, as we call it, is Jungle. But that doesn't matter. They haven't even released it yet, so...
Apologies for the false alarm. We are going to be going on to Downfall. G-Men kicking it off on the defense too, and they, as of late, have been doing pretty good on this map defending. So as long as they just keep taking Volk rounds, they don't even need to win their Marsoc rounds. They can just win. They can just hold tight angles, take the defensive dub, and secure themselves a series.
Conspiracy theory, though. What if they saw the objective and didn't like it, and so they decided, oh, we wanted Day.
Oh, yeah.
Investigative reporting coming up.
The deep dive from Todd.
The deep dive, yep.
Todd freaking
G-Men, or, yeah, this is G-Men's map. Wait, hang on. No, why is Mayhem Marsoc then? Maybe G-Men gave up their revolt.
They probably felt comfortable on Suburbia or Downfall as long as they were Volk. So they opted for the Volk side. I mean, that is a relatively smart choice, I think. If you're going to make sure you're going to be secure on winning that final map, take that Volk advantage. Although it has been contested lately that there may not really be an advantage there if you're skilled enough on Marsoc. So. And
even in this match alone, the team that was on Marsoc has won every round so far. So
yeah.
I think the Volk advantage is dead.
Well, we'll see if
the Marsoc advantage.
We'll see if the Volk advantage is dead as we get into round number 1 of map 3. G-Men on the defensive, Mayhem on the offensive. Does indicate that it was Mayhem's map choice.
And this is a fairly strong map for Mayhem. They have a 53% round win here, so at least for all time. That is as Stone Cold Killers, the previous team name, back under their enemy now, Americal Dev's leadership.
Shudi crossed, got shot, but healed, so he's safe in his position now. Mayhem almost kicked things off on their first round on Downfall with an early 5-4 lead, so they're pretty lucky on G-Men's side at least.
How's it looking? I don't see anything yet.
We are seeing a...
I see nothing.
We are seeing a what's currently a 1-1-2 push with a sniper in the back. Very interesting setup, but then again, this objective can be a little exposed at times, especially if people need to do the rotation. So having that sniper all the way back there, if he's particularly good, and we've seen before, Defilade is amazing at sniping on this map. So this could actually really work really well for Mayhem.
I don't think Deflate is sniping though. He's actually one of the most forward here over on the east side, over by this tank. Getting ready to sort of push up on the G-men here, who do have two defending this hill. But I do remember Deflate, yeah, doing quite well on the long range. Maybe he's passed that on to his other teammates.
Maybe his sniping... Oh, voice crack. Maybe his sniping days are over. He's retired as a maybe sniper, as the man picks up Technic, giving his team the one-man advantage.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Technic just couldn't spot the man in the window, I guess. But I'm surprised that the man spotted Technic. He was really blending into the wall, the hill there.
He's one with the hill.
Yeah. Pause inching his way up the center. He's going to get reinforced here, potentially by Defilade. They really have to clear out 404 and the man if they want to be able to approach from this south side.
Yeah, house by house is probably the best approach at this point, especially from the north. Those two twin towers are just so crucial. They have such a control over all the lanes to objective that you really just can't ignore them.
Sees the smokes way over there on the east side. The west side. Tries to land the shots, can't quite find them, and they may be able to start to kind of rotate around, but there's so much room that they have to cross there. They really need to get rid of 404 first before they can make that push over on that side as well. So a lot relying on Defilade and Pause here to deal with.
And Pause is looking at both where 404 and the man are. Defilade chucks a nade into where 404 is perfectly timed and downs him. The man is now being suppressed by Defilade. Man catches Defilade, but Pause gets the refrag and will now go into confirm 404.
That's huge. That's huge. That opens up Mayhem's routes from this west side quite a bit. They still have eyes from Miracle Dev. Swooty does have eyes outside, but he doesn't spot Wookie on the rotation. A rapid exchange of fire, neither one securing kills. Swooty trying to land some shots onto Wookie as he approaches up along the wall.
Pause and Zach Fontaine might be squaring off here really soon, but Pause finds Swooty from the top of the hill. Zach Fontaine tries to make a rotation to catch Pause, but it's too late. He's outside that zone of control now.
Huge pickup for Pause there. I think Wookie might have gone down there, but G-Men looking rough on the defense. They only have one really on objective, Miracle Dev, who does have the advantage of staying tucked in, and as long as Zach stays in the backside of that ravine there, he should be safe for a little longer. A minute left on the clock for them as well, so time not exactly on the side of Mayhem as Miracle Dev rotates and finds Wookie, trying to maybe push up for a cap. Pause now trying to push in. G-Men into a 2v2.
Pause has the advantage if he goes around Zach Fontaine, but will he have enough time to go into objective? A little bit of indecision here might not be working for him, but now Pause is on the side of the hill that exposes himself to a Miracle Dev, so this might not work exactly in his favor. He does find Zach Fontaine. Will he find a Miracle Dev on objective? Miracle Dev ducks for cover, comes back, finds Pause, and brings it down to a 1v1.
28 seconds left.
28 seconds left on the clock. Miracle Dev makes the run around. Potato Bot goes around, shoots through the window. Doesn't make it, but he does it on the second try, giving Mayhem the first round.
Potato Bot with some clutch kills there. Miracle Dev doing work inside, picking off a ton of attackers, but couldn't quite secure that final kill. And a nice job from Mayhem on the offense, going up 1-0 in this series. They're putting G-Men on the back foot right now, and this could be huge for Mayhem. like we do have one out from G-Men right now, so we're waiting on the addition of that fifth. I wonder if they're making a roster swap too. That would be surprising. Probably just some connection issue. Mayhem, though, man, they are giving G-Men a hard time right now. They have tied up the total scoreline 5-5. After losing to Cargo 4-0, I thought this was going to be downhill for Mayhem. Did not look like they were going to be able to come back and take even a round, honestly. I thought G-Men were going to keep really just pushing on the pressure. I think they're pretty fortunate they didn't manage to get that cap and go up 3-0 on map 2. And instead, they tied things up 1-1 for Quarantine, because then that really got them into the game. And now they haven't let G-Men get a point since. So I'm not sure where G-Men's mentality's at right now. They definitely have to refocus, adjust just a little bit here, try and coordinate themselves a little bit more to try and beat this Mayhem. The Mayhem. Still waiting on the... Oh, nope, there he is, the fifth back in the game for G-Men. So tech difficulties seem to have been sorted, and we should be getting into round 2 soon, where G-Men are going to have to do some serious answering.
Yeah, and looking at the scores right now, Pause is carrying the team with 4 kills and 1 death, but that's all Potato Bot needed to finish off the round. So good on Pause for sweeping up.
That is pretty impressive. We have to keep an eye on him this round as he goes on the defensive for Mayhem. Round number 2 of the series deciding map 3 here. Downfall is underway. And that was actually, I mean, you really think about it, just the biggest start for Mayhem they could have gotten. It's exactly what they needed. They needed to get that first Marsoc round. Now they can sit on their hinds quarters and win the defense, but 404 kicking it off for G-Men with an early pick.
Yeah, that momentum is definitely in favor of Mayhem, but G-Men is just one of those professional teams, and they know how to shake it off and just keep on going and keep on giving their all. Keep in mind, at ESL, they slugged it out with Global Chem in the finals, so they know how to endure these kinds of things.
Deflate here could be in some danger soon if he doesn't spot this rotation on the hilltop. Interesting when you have the lasers on and you see one go over the the enemy and not kind of see them. That means that they have scanned right over that enemy and not spotted him. There, finally, 404 IDs Deflate on the hill. Catches him out before that sniper can take any effect. A pretty big pickup. Leaves Pause all alone on the hilltop.
Yeah, but Pause is currently a force to be reckoned with on this map. Like I said, 4 kills, only 1 death. That is an amazing score, sir, if my math is correct. He will have to take down 2, but doubles are no problem for him. Swooty chooses to go upstairs. Pause gives away his position, but finds 404. An amazing pick.
Curious what he was shooting at. I thought maybe he was pre-firing Swooty on the corner, but 404 was in the back there. Pause does pick him off. It does give away his position to Swooty, and now Swooty is dialed in. Oh, and the headshot trade.
Doesn't leave Mayhem too far behind. It's only a 2v3. They can definitely pick this up and go for the second point. Potentially beating G-Man here.
Yeah, it opens up a lot for G-Man to work with, though. They now have the entire north kind of free and easy to run through. They also really have almost the entire map. They're just keeping a crossfire of Potato and Wookiee on objective, so G-Man with 3:20 on the clock can sort of take their time, I suppose, positioning themselves to pounce on objective with 3 left.
It will still be a challenge, though. Mayhem currently have good coverage on objective on both sides. Both are really tucked away. Kind of covering each other's butts, so even though G-Men have 3, it's still it's a challenge for them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's stacked against them, but it is still a challenge for them.
Killing Wookiee is definitely going to cost the most investment in terms of players committing to trying to kill him, because that spot inside there is so effective. The mattress box combination here denies bullets from penetrating, so you are safe behind those wood crates, and it makes this little corner just so tough to deal with.
Yeah, and then the fact that you have Potato Bot watching his back in that window there just makes it 10 times more difficult, because if you want to take out Wookiee, you got to take out Potato first, but if you want to take out Potato, you got to take out Wookiee first. It's a bit of a conundrum. And the smokes come out. It is Christmas here. And now it's Italy.
Pretty good final smoke there. I don't think that denies too much vision from Wookiee, but the smoke did allow Zach to cross there. Now he's on the corner. The push is coming. Potato's rotating. The smoke's denying him vision. Wookiee trades, and now it's all up to Potato Bot, doused in smoke with 1:20 and 2 G-men alive.
But he's trying to make the refrag around. Oh, he's getting a little too crazy with his peaks, and he gets caught out by Miracle Dev.
Yeah, he was worried about the cap on the corner. A lot of the smokes were there, so obviously the fear that someone's punching in the code is there. I mean, we saw caps already happen in this series under the smoke, so definitely something to be wary of. Can't blame him for trying to check, but you're right, he did get a little overzealous. He should have tucked back in and stayed committed to defending the objective for the remainder of, what, 30 seconds? How much left was on the clock? Not a lot, right?
Yeah, I believe there was about 30 seconds. I wasn't paying attention.
No, you know what? There might have been more. There might have been more, because I think they had enough time to work with, but I could be wrong on that. And
you know what? In the end, chat's just going to yell at us.
Yeah, you're true. It's true. But wow. I mean, Marsoc round for Marsoc round. You're right. There hasn't been a Volk round won yet in this series. Is that right? They haven't won a Volk round? No, they have to. No, because yeah,
on this map they have not won a Volk round.
You're right.
Most of the rounds that were
most
won
have been Marsoc. There have been a few Volk here and there, but you're right. Most have been Marsoc wins.
With the exception of any round for Mayhem on Cargo.
Yeah.
I do think that every other round has been a Marsoc win. Maybe with Mayhem winning a Volk on Quarantine, because that was a 4-1. Right. So we are seeing a heavy bias toward Marsoc with these two teams. And it could just be how these two teams play and where they like to hide and what their play style is, how they communicate together, and that's why we're seeing this. That's why we're seeing the Volk advantage on vacation today.
I'll tell you who's not on vacation, G-Men. They are in the thick of it right now, working hard to try and get this series up against Mayhem, tied 1-1 as they go on the defense for round number 3 of map 3.
Paz has just been on fire. He is now 6-2. Where the only other person who has only 2 people who have a kill is Wookie with 1 and Potato with 1.
I mean, aren't we eating our words? Because we were saying that a player like him can make an effect on maybe like a gold tier match, but now here he is carrying nearly Mayhem's team. You know, and they're beating G-Men, a master tier squad, a top 5 ranked team in the VRML.
Well, I can't say beating just yet.
Yeah,
G-Men,
true.
points wise, G-Men is still winning because they did
You're
have
right.
that 4-0, and now they are a point behind, I believe, if my math is correct. But the points don't matter. That's only the maps.
Whose line is it anyway?
Yes. I didn't want to get a copyright strike, so.
I didn't say it right
Not
either,
that
so
they're-
we're both
not they're
in
gonna-
the clear.
Yeah.
Definitely looking for the man, but the man's not going to peek out too much there. He's staying tucked in on the other side of that wall. If he does get a little bit overzealous, though, definitely is waiting in the center here. Oh. He did see the man on the rotation. Doesn't catch him on the bottom floor again. Crossing around, and the man, fortunate that Defilade wasn't really dialed into that bottom story as he does cross back on the other side of the wall.
I think Defilade is realizing, though, that he is on that middle level.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of see him begin to point more toward there. And he's going to know really shortly soon. It looks like the man's getting ready to pig it. I think the man's just really focused on watching the objective. He's not even worried about anyone remotely near there.
Shots on Dark Room. I don't know if I got him.
Even though he does have one heck of a peeking opportunity, because Defilade's like focusing on so many different areas of that building.
Wookie and Technic taking some shots prone here on the hilltop, exposing their position, but just trying to catch some shoulders of the G-Men defenders. Everyone's playing it pretty tight right now, not really too eager to expose and look for early picks. They want to stay disciplined and force Mayhem to get up here towards objective before they start fighting.
I don't know if you were there, but Wookie tossed the smoke. Said, "Oh God."
Nade coming in from the man. I don't think it has the range he was looking for. Did it go inside the chimney? No, it didn't.
Oh, and another shot opportunity comes for Defilade, but he isn't able to make a connect again.
404.
Finds Wookie.
Yeah, good shots from him. Still has one more to deal with on the south, and he seems to be aware of it. He does have his eyes trained over there. Although he doesn't spot him, the lines from Technic dialed into the head, and down he goes. That ACOG coming into handy. More shots all the way from, looks like Zach Fontaine, just missing on the hilltop, and G-Men into a 4v3 as the man picks off Paz. That's a huge pick for them since Paz has been so instrumental.
The biggest pick you can possibly get at this point. And Mayhem has not really found a complete kill just yet.
Yeah, they're not in the greatest of positions. Defilade and Potato Bot gonna have to run across the middle of the map through a couple of angles. Swooty and I believe it's Miracle Dev on the bottom floor there, and then eventually the man who's been waiting the whole time. 404 still has callouts too.
Oh yeah, and he's in the perfect position to call out when they're moving on to objective. So he's effectively watching for free for at least for the next 2 minutes. A place that you can't take him out because he's down.
Swooty snags one there as they tried to rotate. Potato Bot now going to make his effort up the center.
Ooh, and the man begins to make a move down again. Potato Bot's getting dialed into a Miracle Dev's location, but he will have to deal with 2 because Swooty is on the next door neighbor vertically. Oh, and a smoke coming out. Let's see how Potato gets creative here. Miracle Dev is actually coming around for the peak. This might not play out for him that well if he gets a little too ambitious with this. Oh, and Swooty's doing the exact same thing as well. Oh, they meet, but Potato gets caught out. And G-Men take their lead for the first time in the past 2 maps.
Has been a while. Mayhem have been really testing G-Men's resolve, making them work super hard for this series. And you're right, it is the first time they've been in the lead since they won that first round on Quarantine.
Very decisively, if I may add.
Yeah, that was more of a G-Men defense I would expect to see on Downfall. Maybe it's the objective and it just kind of caters more to their defensive style. But that sort of tight angle holding, the kill box around objective, not really exposing for early picks, is more in line of what I anticipated out of the G-Men defense.
Yeah. And maybe G-Men just really like these smaller maps. Keep in mind, the only map that we have known that they have chosen has been Cargo, and the rest of them, it was like, you guys choose. And they have chosen Quarantine and Downfall, the 2 largest maps we have on deck, and they've been playing extremely good at them. So maybe G-Men are one of the few top-ranked teams who are just really good on close-range maps.
See if Mayhem can muster up a similar level of defense for round number 4 of map 3. This is the series decider. If you've just tuned in, you saw the scoreboard. Map 1 to G-Men, map 2 to Mayhem, and an early pickoff for G-Men opens up their Marsoc round really good.
Oh yeah, and if they cap on this one, it's a decider, so they're gonna really want to get this. Swooty just spamming lead all over the place.
Potobot's looking for an angle, almost gets caught out himself, does find Swooty in the head. That's an insta-kill and a nice answer back. No, it's not actually. It's found the shoulder. G-Men is resable.
Yeah, the man reses Swooty, and we're back up to a 4v5 G-Men's advantage. And 404 is looking at that exact window where Potato Bot is, waiting for the move to be made. Potato Bot's got more than a mouthful here, as he has 3 members of G-Men on this hill that he has to worry about and expose himself to if he wants to take down at least one of them. Keep in mind, this game is not forgiving at all when it comes to bullet damage.
Suppressive fire from Swooty, allowing them to cross safely as they do get across without damage.
Still no picks off G-Men so far. Mayhem have a bit of a hill to climb here if they want to pull this back. Like we've seen this so many times before. Once G-Men get close to objective, all they think about is capping, and they are really good at it. A nice pick comes out from Miracle Dev onto Technic. Technic being on objective makes Mayhem just that much more exposed.
Lots of fire coming in from G-Men on all sides. Zach Fontaine, Swooty. I also believe Miracle Dev putting out some rounds down there as they do make their approach here. Smoke's coming in, and I think you were right when you said earlier that this is, you know, definitely an opportunity for them to cap. They are now into a 3v5 And if they can get the right smokes out there, Miracle Dev can maybe make the right flank. Pause catches out Swooty, which is huge.
And he might be able to catch out a Miracle Dev here if he plays his cards just right. But no, he won't be able to. He peeks at the wrong time and gets peeked by Zach Fontaine.
Wookie Win catches him. Miracle Dev down to Potato Bot. Wookie peeks out and around to catch out Miracle Dev, but can't find the shots. He is getting actively flanked as well by 404.
Oh, and a good nade. Just a little bit off to the left here.
Uh-oh. A botch nade now at his feet as he dives inside. And that's probably actually the best spot for him to be, since now 404 doesn't have an angle.
Wookie finds a Miracle Dev, making his job a lot easier. Now he's in a 1.5 v2. That res will not be coming out as he is completely surrounded, and that happens.
I was waiting for the flank from 404, and I was going to see if he was considering going for that cap, because it would have been the map, but instead takes the secure win, the secure round W, and goes up 3-1 now for map number 3. And maybe we'll see another 4-1 from G-Men here if they can grab this defensive round coming up.
Yeah, G-Men have decided to take the long route. And especially with Wookie being that tight on objective, I don't think a cap would have been really safe per se, especially with knowing how well Mayhem are just good on offense. When they get on objective, they can punish just as well as G-Men can. Their cap was a little longer, but to be fair, it was completely under smoke. And seeing the tablet nowadays under smoke, pretty challenging.
Hard to even have utility available to put it onto objective, so I do agree with you there, and we'll see if they can show off a little bit of that smoke cap strategy on this map. It is definitely one where opportunities can arise for it. I don't know if the objective they'll be going up against. Yeah, we've seen a lot of real interesting prone caps, all sorts of stuff on this upcoming objective. We're going the distance here, people. Round number 5 of map 3. It has been a real fun series to watch here, as Mayhem have been giving G-Men a tough time. And we're now seeing some early defensive smokes to allow them to get into forward positions, although it may favor Mayhem's spawn there.
Yeah, this is Mayhem's now or never come to Jesus moment here. If they don't win this, that's it. All that sweet MMR gone. Even though I think they probably will still gain some MMR because G-Men are pretty up there. And the fact that they're keeping the scores this pretty close.
You can't gain MMR on a loss, though.
No, you can't, but it will definitely save their MMR.
Yeah. It won't be hit too hard. Technic with the sniper and silencer inching his way here around to this palm, using it as a bit of cover. And I think that Mayhem stayed quiet enough that G-Men, I don't know, I think they want them to forget about this potential spawn point, but look at the angle from the man. They are dialed in over here onto this corner, waiting for something to come out from around this side.
Well, Technic just confirmed G-Man's suspicions as he has fired. Even with a suppressed weapon, it is still audible. And a Miracle Dev just punishing on Deflade. It's not exactly the start Mayhem needs.
No.
Definitely a creative one, though. Very creative solution to this spawn problem.
They're fortunate enough that nobody has angles on them from that hilltop, so they are able to get out of spawn. But now that G-Men know where they are, they don't have a ton of time. I guess 4:20 on the clock for Pause to rotate around to this other side of the map. It's going to be a bit.
Not bad, but he can't take his time. We're seeing a lot of clumping going up on G-Man getting aggressive again, but not nearly as much as we saw on Quarantine, but this could be a moment for Mayhem to capitalize and even up the numbers again, because they're currently down one.
Make it a middle hotel. I think I hear one middle hotel. I definitely hear a G woman in middle hotel.
Potato bot.
Look at Technic here, really trying to use that sniper. His advantage, he's got a decent angle into that center building there from this hilltop, and he might be able to actually find his target soon.
I think he does, but Miracle Dev, he misses his first shot, and Miracle Dev ducks for cover.
Oh.
But it doesn't matter anymore, as Potato Bot is able to finish Technic's work.
One in the window, whatever.
Swooty lands some shots on the Potato. They weren't fatal, though. He is still alive. I don't know if he'll be ready for the man who is sitting here on the other side of the wall.
No, he is not. He gave away his position and completely left himself open to where the man was, and basically didn't even know he was there.
Yeah, I think after he killed the one inside, he figured that was it. He wasn't anticipating another one to be in there, and the man stayed quiet enough where he wasn't ever detected. So the patient play pays off. Now Mayhem into a 3v4. As we go into this, this is a must-win round for them.
Yes, and always check your corners too. So now, G-Men have only lost one, but Mayhem are still down a man compared to it. Doesn't mean that it's gonna stop them. It's just not good odds. The good news is that they still have Pause, who's been carrying them throughout this map.
Yeah. Like past there. Yeah,
and Pause is actually in a position to punish. He has taken one of the bungalows and can definitely start wreaking havoc if he starts finding places.
Swooty catching out Wookie, putting the odds in the favor of G-Men even more, but Pause here advancing forward does get called out. Footsteps are heard here on the corner.
This could be an opportunity to distract G-Men, make them all focus on Pause. Maybe get some picks for Mayhem.
Oh, his smoke did not roll the way he wanted it to. Does catch Swooty. A nice pickup there. 35 seconds left on the clock. The rest of Mayhem has to move. There's only one other to support Pause here, and he's so far away. He's the sniper, so it really is dolled up to Pause as the man. Catches him in the back. And now Technic.
Member.
Yeah.
Technic, the sniper. Oh man, that's cruel.
It's unfortunate. Yeah. 404 picking him off in the open, and G-Men take the series in a pretty dominating fashion on their final map, Downfall, 4-1. But man, what a great battle for pretty much the whole way through there.
Oh yeah, Cargo.
Yeah, that was a bit of a
leaning a little bit to G-Man. I'll say that.
Yep.
Some great rounds in that though, but we really saw the fire get ignited on Quarantine and just get carried through there. It's so dominantly. It was so awesome. And even on Downfall, we saw him consistently being brought down to the final people, like 1v1s, and always a good match when it comes down to a duel.
Yeah. Absolutely. Total scoreline 9-5 for G-Men as they do take the series against Mayhem, and I think that is going to be it for us here at the desk. If you want to get involved in the league, head on over to vrmasterleague.com/onward where you can register for a team. You can find the links to the Twitter, the Twitch, and the Facebook so you can know when we're going to go live with all the action and where. we have multiple channels like Onward Master League 2 and 3, where we also host additional games from the VRML. So make sure you're following all of the socials, all of the proper channels, so you can get all of the VRML action that your heart desires. If you also want to sign up for one of our other leagues, we have other leagues and other VR games, so make sure to check out Final Assault, Contractors, and Pavlov as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's, my co-caster Todd frickin' Habercorn. We will see you
Language
tomorrow.